All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah, as Bitcoin is... Man, we have taken a big dump today, guys. We have just really rejected from this little Bart Simpson pattern, pretty much giving back everything that we gave last night, and now we are currently at a very key level on the chart. As you can see right here, we are coming down to 101.298, the weekend low, looking like we're doing a liquidity grab right here with some bullish divergence on market Cipher B. Are we going to hold? I don't know. We will find out. However, make sure to like the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to sign up on KCEX for the lowest fees. 0% limit order, 0.01% market order, up to $21,000 bonus. Plus, make sure if you also like trading inverse perpetual contracts, make sure to check out BLOFIN, 10% cashback, all these juicy prizes depending on your trading volume. Now, we need to talk about what is happening with the Bitcoin as we are forming this descending triangle after a major dump. This is the 1 minute chart. I'm in a little bit of a long trade right here, guys. A little bit of a long trade right here, as you can see. As we are down to the wire pretty much. And honestly, guys, you know, we have some strange things. First of all, yeah, Bitcoin has slipped over 3% in the last 24 hours. Basically, you know, it's not looking it's not looking the best, honestly. Bitcoin slips nearly 3% in one day to 103. Of course, now we're down to 101. Weighed by profit taking and cooling AI tech trade. Man, oh man, this is pretty crazy. We pumped all the way up to 107 and now we're back down $6,000. Pretty insane. Now, although this is bearish news, we have to recognize the fact that Bitcoin right now is doing what we thought it was going to do. If you were here on Sunday, you guys remember that we were talking about the fact that a triangle, a symmetrical triangle, is a recipe for getting everybody wrecked. And we were expecting a short squeeze, and then we were expecting to come back inside the triangle. Here we are, guys, back inside the triangle. All right, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to know what's going to happen before it happens. Now, in the midst of this bearishness, all right, you can consider this bearishness, really I'd say it's neutral, but in the midst of this bearishness, it is quite interesting. Because as you can see here, it looks like professional and wealthy investors are still planning to boost their crypto holdings even after a sharp slide. What does this mean? This means big money is buying the dip, baby. Big money is buying the dip. Morgan Stanley analyst says crypto traders on a 4-year cycle tied to money supply. Very interesting. Very interesting. Morgan Stanley says that crypto is no longer a speculative bet only. It's developed an institutional following. Wow. That's bullish fundamentals coming out of MarketWatch.com today. Very interesting. The recent drop in crypto prices isn't denting enthusiasm from wealthy and professional investors to boost allocations. Pretty cool. 61% of the more than 1,000 high net worth and professional investors surveyed in 43 countries plan to increase their exposure to cryptocurrency. Interesting. So we do have some bearish, medium-term bearish charts, but we do have some bullish fundamentals. And actually, it is quite interesting to see, at least in the news, if you can trust it at all, that big money is buying the dip, man. Big money is buying the dip. And this does add to the narrative that potentially the 4-year cycle is broken, and maybe we're not going to see as sharp of a bear market, as harsh as a bear market this time as we have in previous 4-year cycles. Very interesting. In fact, we are seeing more and more institutional crypto adoption across the board. Interestingly enough, a UK-based crypto infrastructure firm backed by major finance names, including NASDAQ, XTX, and more, is, well, adopting crypto. Very interesting. A crypto firm backed by finance heavyweights has won approval from UK regulators in the latest sign of thawing sentiment toward the crypto sector. Very interesting. It became authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority yesterday, according to the Watchdog's Register. to start dealing with crypto assets. So we are seeing some bullish fundamentals brewing as the Bitcoin price is slumping potentially in the beginning of a large pullback. But the question is, are we truly headed for a large pullback, or are we about to see the real bull market spark off? Well, I think right now we are at a very key area for Bitcoin. The fact that we have come down to take out the weekend lows with this wick right here, in my opinion, guys, could be a sign that maybe we are going to see a bounce from this $101,000 area. Now, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to Sunday. Let's paint a picture, a technical analysis picture, all right? The news, we know, comes and goes. The news is fickle, all right? Like that girl in high school who said she'd love you today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. You thought it meant she'd love you forever, but really, it meant she'd love you for 4 days and then she'd dump you. Breaking your heart, leaving you cold and alone outside that high school, waiting for your mom to come pick you up with tears running down your face, trying not to cry in front of other people, so cold the tears freezing, turning into icicles on your face. Freezing cold. All right? Haven't had a girlfriend since then, you know? It's been a sad life. But news is fickle like that girl in high school. The technicals will never let you down. All right, girls might be breaking your heart left and right, but the technical analysis is never going to break your heart. It's always going to be there with the hope of another high leverage long from the top. Okay, now daily time frame, you can see here, not looking great. Red dot printing, money flow coming down. Honestly, in the macro, it looks like we want to go for those mid to low 90s lows. All right, so the daily time frame definitely has some downside potential here. Now let's get to our 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame is where things are looking a little bit ambiguous here, but here's the reality of the situation. The 4-hour time frame did give us a nice bottom here, where it gave us a nice bottom. It gave us a continuation of the money flow and the momentum with a breakout of the triangle. Now we are at the make it or break it zone, because if the low is in, then where we're currently bouncing from right now is going to be a higher low. All right, if the low is in, this here is going to be our higher low. Why? Well, very simple. This is the golden pocket retracement. This is the weekend liquidity taken. This is the high volume node of everything that traded within the triangle. And so quite simply put, guys, quite simply put, if this level holds, we could actually see Bitcoin get a higher high, take out the highs that we made back here on Monday, and actually potentially see a rotation all the way back up to $116,000, $117,000, right? This is a very key area for Bitcoin. If this level holds, if we can close a daily candle above 101.3, what does this do? This literally opens the door to us coming back inside of this sideways range right here, okay? This was our clearly defined support. What happened? Well, we spent a little time below, we break back above, we back test it, and we continue back to the top of the range, where we would obviously look for the opposite to happen, right? We'd look for short trades. This is also now going to be our bearish Fibonacci golden pocket, 786. We would pretty much look for the opposite of what happened down low to happen up here, right? Formula range, and then Bart Simpson it back down, potentially, right? I mean, based on the higher term timeframes, things do look quite bearish. So I am kind of biased towards shorting a rise here. All right, I'm a little bit biased towards shorting a rise here. Let's see. Okay. All right, Bitcoin, man. Look at this. We are struggling at this level here. I did take an aggressive long entry from that low. I did let my community know about an hour and 15 minutes ago that I had taken that aggressive long trade based on the weekend low CDW. And honestly, the Casper crew, we have been crushing it. We have been taking these dang trades. All right. Took the trade from $100,000. Took the trade from, that was on, let's see, when was that? We've been taking a lot of trades in the Casper crew lately. Yeah, so on the 6th, we took a trade of the fake out of $100,000. And then on the 10th of November, took a long trade from 104, shooting for 106.5. We hit 106.5, the take profit was hit, took a short from that high. And of course, that high is still the high, right? That's still basically the high. when we came up to 107 on Monday. I'm still holding that short, by the way. And then, of course, we gave these scalp levels on the way down yesterday. Took a scalp trade yesterday at 9:56 a.m. Took profits at the local range high for a small profit before we dropped down lower, and then circled these two areas for potential long trades. The first area obviously did give us a pretty big pump when we came down to that zone. Boom! That was the daily high right from the circle. Look, when Jason Casper draws a circle, don't mess with those circles. And then, of course, you can see right now that we're currently trying to bounce from the second circle. The second circle, which is why I did take along in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com to join the best dang trading community in the world. All right, but let's see what's going on here now. Bitcoin is consolidating within this what looks like a bearish descending triangle. So I'm honestly would not be surprised if we don't form a little bit of a range here. You know, maybe we do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. All right. But this is a very key zone here. Very key. Hence the long trade. Because if we don't hold this level, then guess what? If we don't hold this level, then guess what? Let's remove all our drawings from the chart. If this level doesn't hold, I am convinced that we're going to go for the lows that we made last week back down around here. Now, this is the 4-hour chart. If we do go for these lows, that is actually going to give us some nice looking divergences here bullishly. All right. And let's not forget what lies below the low. All right. What lies below the low is this. Let's go ahead and pull some very important levels, some technical levels. All right. We're going to look at all the volume that we traded in the last year. Wow. The high volume node of the whole year is right there below the low. Yes. Wow. Amazing area of support. I can't even believe it. What a juicy level. Let's see if there's any other confluences here. Let's go ahead and pull our Fibonacci from the low in April to the high all-time high. Whoa! The Fibonacci golden pocket macro is also right there below the low? You don't say. Amazing. Wow. Let's see if there's anything else. What about the volume weighted average price from August 2024? Wow. Whoa, you mean there's an anchored VWAP that's been respected at these higher lows right down? Yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing. If we don't hold where we're currently at right now, getting a bounce right from the aggressive trade given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord about an hour and a half ago. If we don't hold this level, then I'd say we're probably going to go down to the box. The green box of hope and wonder. The green box of hope and wonder and desire and human passion and human greed and fear and all the negative cortisol spiking emotions that come along with being a professional trader. You know, that 9 to 5 was too stressful for me. I traded that in for sleepless nights, cortisol spikes all day, not being able to focus on anything in my life besides the chart, elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure, poor eating habits. I traded the 9 to 5 for all of those good things. The box of elevated cortisol and hope and wonder, because this could very well be a juicy swing trade that takes us to a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And why do I say such a thing? Well, this right here is the bottom of the macro range support resistance flip going all the way back literally to November 2024. It was support last year. It was flip to resistance, flip to support. It's been support this whole time. If this uptrend is going to continue, guys, this is where it's going to be from. Now, the sad thing is, if we don't hold this green box, then we're going to come back down to this area right here. All right. The music just got sad in the background as we talk about this area here. $75,000 low. That's really the next place we're going to go. How can you say such a thing, Jason Casper? Are you stupid? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But my stupidness is totally unrelated to the reason why I say we're going to come down to this level. This level is, in fact, the bottom of the macro range, right? If we're always asking ourselves, where is the sideways range? That's how we're going to come up with trades, right? That's how we're going to be coming up with trades always, right? Where is the sideways range? Here we go on Bitcoin, getting a pump. Why did I take a long from here? Why did I long this? It's because it's the bottom of the sideways range, right? Even on a low time frame. Look, we had ourselves these weekend lows right here, identifying for us the bottom of a sideways range with a clearly defined low at 101 and a clearly defined high right around here, right? So I'm looking for a long at the bottom of the range. If we zoom out now to the daily time frame, we can see that if this level doesn't hold, well, then we have to be looking for a long at the bottom of the more macro range. The more macro range has our clearly defined low at around 98K, our clearly defined high at around 125,000. This is our more macro range. If that doesn't hold, guys, then the range we are trading is going to be this guy right here. It's going to be this guy right here. Do you see how that works? That's why the green box of hope and wonder and desire and human passion and stressful emotions and ignoring your kids and your wife for years and years and years in the hopes of getting that one trade, that one high leverage trade this time, it's going to be life-changing for me. I just need that one trade. Yeah, I've lost millions, guys, but I have the potential to make thousands on this next trade. I've lost billions, but I have the potential to make hundreds of dollars on this next high leverage long. All right? So I hope this makes sense to everybody, and we got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see what's happening with Bitcoin as we are attempting to come back up toward the top of this local range here. Now, here's the thing. I would not be surprised if we actually form a range right here. I would not be surprised if we come up, take the highs, come back down, take the lows, and then get something like this, all right? A nice rounded bottom to form here. The reason why I say that is because as we look at Market Cipher B, first of all, let's remove all our drawings again. Market Cipher B on the 24-minute is looking juicy. It's looking pretty dang juicy, all right? You know what I mean by that, right? When I say juicy, I mean we got ourselves the uneven butt cheek pattern, big on the left, skinny on the right, gravioli on the left. Gravioli, it's a combination of gravy and ravioli mixed together. It's a delicacy where I come from. In my country, gravioli is a delicacy. Right butt cheek, very skinny. Money flow getting higher here, right? It looks pretty juicy to me. But as we go down to the lower time frames, right? For example, the 12-minute, we didn't see a bullish divergence here. We did see bullish money flow. Okay, we did see bullish money flow, but we didn't see a bullish divergence. If we start to form a little range here, which we kind of already are, right? Forming a little bit of a range here, and we come down to make another little low, guess what? We will have now a local uneven butt cheek pattern in the context of the macro money flow getting higher. You see? A beautiful, I mean absolutely gorgeous pattern that would be. All right? The booty's looking juicy. My girl named Lucy. This is Lucy. Lucy with the juicy booty. All right. Let's check out our 6-minute time frame here. You can see that we are even right now. We've just taken that previous little local high here. All right. So even right now, we've done this. So now let's see if we don't come down and do something like this. Take out the low again. And as we do, we're seeing bullish signals starting to form in these low time frames. So the 24-minute looks good. The 1 hour looks good. The 1 hour looks good for a bounce. All right. And where are we looking to bounce to? Honestly, you know, let's be realistic here. For a trade like this, obviously we're looking for a big breakout. But where would a good take profit one actually be? It would probably be the Fibonacci golden pocket retrace from the high of Monday to the current low. So maybe we take out these highs. Maybe we come back to around 104.5. 104.5 would be an excellent take profit one on this. 104.5, right? We're in from the exact bottom from the trades that I've given in real time in the Casper crew. That's a good entry, man. That is a good entry. Let's be honest. Man, oh man, that is a juicy entry. That is a juicy entry. It's a good thing I always like to let the community know whenever I take juicy entries like that. You know, it was aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. It was a pretty aggressive long, but it was a pretty aggressive long. All right. Shout out to the Casper crew. By the way, guys, if you're looking for eggs today, all right. If you want eggs, eggs are the Discord's currency, basically, where you can use your eggs redeemable for cash prizes, free VIP memberships. All right. There is a code word today. To claim your eggs in the Discord, you're going to go to the egg rewards section, click on quests, click claim, and and you're going to type in the secret code, which I forget what it is right now, but thankfully I have it here on my phone, so I can tell you guys exactly what the code is. It's called straighten. Straighten, like you're going to straighten something out. STRAIGHTEN. Let's type it in ourselves here. Straighten. There we go. Got myself some eggs. You guys should go get your eggs too. All right, go get your eggs. Alrighty, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to, what does aggressive refer to? Aggressive refers to very little confirmation, all right? Very little confirmation, all right? Basically, what happened was we took the weekend low, and without really much confirmation at all, just literally me watching the price dip below and basically bounce up within a few seconds, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to long it. I said, you know what? I'm going to long it. Let's see what happens. As we've literally come up, we've taken this little high. Let's see if we get another little drop down and then come in, make a higher low, form a rounded bottom, get some nice bullish divergence going on right here. Let's see if we don't do something like this, all right? Let's see if we don't do something like this. Okay? That's what aggressive means, all right? That's what aggressive means. How to earn an egg? I just told you. Don't tell it to us gay. No, I'll tell it to you straight, all right? Shout out to Pro, the Doge. How do you know how many eggs you have? You got to look in the Discord. It'll tell you. Shout out to Splash Fire Film. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. I lost the revenge trade today, but still making money on Millennia Coin. Interesting. I haven't checked Millennia Coin in a long time. All right, shout out to Crypto Sharknado. He says 91K. General Dictator says nah, 95K. You know, the next major zone is around the low to mid 90s, guys. So you're all right. All right, you're all correct. Everyone's correct. We're all correct together. All right, we're all in this together. You know, we're all. It's the crypto communist economy. All right, we're all right. Everyone's a winner. Everyone gets a trophy. We share everything. We all share everything, right? Actually, the government owns everything, but we all share, right? And the government loves us. The government always loves you. I feel a bounce in my Jewish bones, says 2018 SK. I hope you're right. I think we retest 98 one more time. That seems probable if we don't hold 102, where wherever we're at right now, this zone. If we don't hold this zone, I agree. We're probably going to come back and take out $98,000 dólares. ¿Cómo se dice en español? Dollars. We're going to take out 98 pesos. There we go. We'll take out 98 pesos. All right, let's take a look at some other important crypto assets. Ethereum. Man, oh man. ETH gotten a nice bounce here, also getting a bit of a pullback. Let's check out ETH on the daily. Look at that candle on ETH on the daily. You know, ETH has not seen... ETH and Bitcoin are pretty much in the same boat. Again, ETH is coming to a key area as well. We're going to pull our fib from the low to the high. ETH is not quite at the important support. I'd say important support for ETH is going to be around 3,300 down to around 3,250. That's going to be the important back test of the high volume node that we made right around here. Okay, so ETH right now is, you know, if we did come down to 3,300, which is key, but the real high volume node is going to be a little bit lower. That, I think, could be our first sign of strength on ETH to eventually come up and squeeze these. Don't you want to squeeze these? I do. Give us some extra cheese, please. Don't you want to squeeze these? You know it is the bee's knees. And if we lose this level, then we're going to drop all the way down to 20, let's say 2,700 ETH. And if we lose 2,700 ETH, we're coming all the way down to 2,000 ETH. So we are at very crucial areas of support for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. Again, the daily time frame for ETH doesn't look as bad as Bitcoin's. The reason is because we never had a bearish money flow at this high. We never had a complete bear div here. And so when there's no bear div, that increases the probabilities of squeezing again. The one bad thing I'd say about ETH is similar to Bitcoin here, which is the money flow on the daily, guys. the money flow on the daily is looking pretty scaly. It's coming out, it's coming down. We've got our yellow oscillator also pointing down right here on ETH. So we must really hold 3,200, or it could be straight downward elevator. Straight downward elevator. Let's check out BTC.D. Bitcoin dominance. Keep our hand on the pulse, our finger on the pulse of Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin dominance, again, we are flirting with this trend line right here. We keep on holding this trend line, not being able to close the daily candle below this trend line ever since we broke above it back in September 2025. And this, I think, a loss, a daily close below this trend line, which we have not been able to do. I mean, we've been poking into it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be our 6th day of poking into, wicking down through the trend line and closing above. If we close the daily candle below, I do firmly believe that we could see more follow through on the decrease of Bitcoin dominance, which would cause money to come into altcoins. All right, let's go to our 4-hour. We've got ourselves a confirmed trigger wave on the 4-hour. It does look on the 4-hour like more downside is possible. Let's go to our 1-hour here on Bitcoin dominance. We are seeing, I mean, this is gross market cipher because it's gross action, right? I mean, this is disgusting price action that we've been trading here since Friday. We could even look at this as its own little channel right here, where if we do get the breakdown, then we could see significant downside, right? So we do need to keep our eyes on that. We also need to keep our eyes on altcoin dominance. Altcoin dominance is getting a little bit of a bounce here on the 1-hour, but you know what's interesting is on the day, Bitcoin and altcoin dominance is down. So we're not just seeing money go from Bitcoin into altcoins here. We're actually seeing money leave the crypto market, period. Let's see this. Total crypto cap today, yeah. I mean, pretty much on the day, the total market cap is down about 4%. That is quite significant. A 4% decrease of money in the crypto market, down from about 3.5 trillion to 3.38 trillion. Quite interesting. And of course, that's down from the all-time high of over 4 trillion, 4.2 trillion. And we've seen lows of about 3.2 trillion. That is pretty crazy. About $1 trillion out of the market since October 6th. That is pretty significant. $1 trillion. That is quite a lot of money. That is quite a lot of money. All right. Let's see what happens with the Bitcoin. We are trying to hold this trend line here, guys. We are trying to hold the trend line. Now, someone in the chat was looking at Millennia. I don't even know how to spell Trump's wife's name. How do you spell it? Millennia Trump? Let's see this. Someone said they're making a lot of money, and I don't know if they were joking or not. Looks like they were not joking. Millennia Trump. Millennia Coin. Look at this. Don't be surprised, guys, if these just kidding coins actually do pump. All right, the way they work is they wreck everybody when they first launch. That's how they work. They're there to wreck you. They're there to wreck everybody, honestly. And then once you're wrecked, once you're out, once you say, that was a big mistake, then they pump it, all right? And you know what's quite interesting right now is this. What? Hang on, 1 second. Yeah, I mean, these coins do pump, right? These coins do pump. And so if we can reclaim this disgusting yellow curve here, don't be surprised if we see a big old squeeze. Millennia right now up from October 10th, 400%, currently up 276%. 276. Yeah, that would be quite interesting. That would be quite interesting. You know what? I might actually look to get some of this. Woo, we're bouncing from the golden pocket even now. I might get some Millennia Trump coin. Some Millennia and some Trump. You know what I'm saying? I could use some Orange Man and some First Lady coin in my life. Anyone else could use some Orange and First Lady coin in their lives? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. The only way I buy coins like these are at low and spot, no leverage. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Yeah, don't ever leverage trade this stuff. Is Bitcoin on half price yet? No, not yet. Not yet. It's not. Bitcoin's not going to be half price until we're under $70,000, guys. You know, a $65,000 Bitcoin is pretty much half price. ETH Bitcoin about to break out. Dave B, not financial advice, could use a big squeeze. Couldn't we all, man? Couldn't we all? Let's check out the ETH Bitcoin pair. I just typed in ETH Bitcoin USDT. Is it breaking out? Wow. Okay, look at this. Let's look at this here. All right, the ETH Bitcoin pair. Would you look at this? Quite interesting. ETH versus Bitcoin. We come down to pretty much the low of the range. We get the breakout. We're currently getting the back test, guys. This is what we were looking for back here in June. We were looking for ETH Bitcoin pair to break out, reclaim the point of control, and come for a back test. Currently, that is what is happening. And honestly, I'm not trying to be too bullish here, okay? But honestly, the money flow looks kind of nice on the weekly. Let's go to the 6-day. Let's go to the 5-day. Let's go to the 4-day. Okay, let's go to the 3-day. All right. You guys see that on the 3-day? You guys see that on the 3-day? Honestly. Did Jay say the 8 code yet? Yes, he did. He did. It was straighten. Straighten. All right. Straighten is the egg code, guys. If you want some eggs, straighten is the way to go. All right. That actually looks pretty nice. We do have some nice bullish divergence at the low. We flipped the POC into support. Like I've been saying, if the elements are correct here, if everything is perfect, right? We have the ingredients for an altcoin season, a real altcoin season. We have the ingredients. We have the flour, the sugar, the eggs, the water, the oil, the salt, the vanilla extract, the cinnamon. Depends on what kind of cake you're making, right? But here's the problem. We have the ingredients, but are we going to put them in the proper proportions into the pan, bake it in the oven at the proper temperature for the right amount of time, take it out and let it sit for the right amount of time, spread the frosting on without breaking the cake? Because we're trying to make one of those fancy 3-layer cakes. And you told your wife, why are you trying to make a 3-layer cake just to add stress on yourself? You've got 3 kids, you're homeschooling. Why did you tell these people you're going to make them a 3-layer cake, and now you're up at 11 p.m. trying to make this cake? You know, it's crazy, because us men, you know, we're like, look, you need a cake, just go to the dang store and buy one, right? But no, she has to make one, and it has to be a complicated cake. And now she's stressed out, right? And the chances that all the ingredients are going to end up right, and the frosting is going to end up right, and the cake's not going to break to pieces, and you're going to have to buy one from the store anyway. You know, chances are things have to work out pretty much spot on right here. Bitcoin needs to hold support. Basically, that's the first thing. We need to see Bitcoin dominance break down and Bitcoin holding support. I'm talking low to mid 90s, maximum dump. All right, and then if that happens, I do think we can see a true altcoin season throughout December and January, maybe leading into February. Gold is going nuts. Didn't see the code for the VIP. The VIP stream also had a code. It did sound like Herbert, didn't it? That's who I was kind of thinking of. Major shout out to our super chat. Sandra Holman, who says, if Jason's long, I long too. God bless you all. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's always the best idea, all right? But I am long, all right? But please don't do what I do. Don't do as I do. All right, what were we were gonna look at something very important. Perfect time for a pump song. Homemade for anything other than family is just a waste of time. Your even as housewife is more valuable than making us that damn cake. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. But, you know, look, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? To each their own. I like the cookies from Subway. Go short, says shoe polisher. According to Polymarket, Polygon is just gone. Interesting. Really? Is that true? Is that true? What would Max Payne scenario be in my opinion? Well, there's two Max Payne scenarios. One is bullish, one is bearish, right? Are we talking about a max bearish scenario? Max bearish Payne scenario, in my opinion, is going to be this. Actually, let's remove everything and just pull our fib. Max Payne scenario is going to be this. Just under 40K. Just under 40K. Max Payne scenario. I'll tell you why that's my Max Payne scenario. Historically speaking, in the bear market, we come down to this level right here, this fib level, the 786, from the bear market to the all-time high. Also, another reason why this would be Max Payne is because people are going to be waiting for this. People are going to be waiting for this. And so dipping down, losing 40K, and not hitting 30K is going to be Max Payne, honestly. Because everybody's going to be really excited about 60, 70,000, 65,000. Everyone's going to be really excited about this. Right? And then everybody's also going to be really excited about 50K. Right? Just this low right here. Everyone's going to be really excited about 50K. We start to lose 50K, we start to lose hope. We start to lose 40K, everybody gets so bearish, they're calling for 30K and below. This is the perfect level to Max Payne on everybody in the red and leave everybody on the sideline when they're waiting for lower, right? Because everyone's like, there's no way we're going to lose 65K. No way. Okay, there's no way we're going to lose 50K. No way. Right? Then we lose 50K. We're breaking down from this low. It looks really bearish. We've made now our second lower low of the bear market. It's looking really bad. Then we come down to around 40K. We're losing 40K. Sentiment's really bearish here. You know? It's not going to bounce quick. It's going to take some time. Sentiment's really bearish. People calling for lower and lower. Michael Saylor gets liquidated. All this. That's where we bounce. Honestly, that's Max Payne. That's in my opinion. Are we talking local Max Payne? I mean, local Max Payne for me is going to be a dip down to the golden pocket zone, which is going to be around the low to mid 90s. All right, the low to mid 90s, because everybody's so convinced that 100K is going to hold. And so when it doesn't hold, people are going to get bearish. But then we have the Fibonacci golden pocket right here. The low to mid 90s. Potentially 88K. Potentially 88K, which is the support resistance flip right here. But I say low to mid 90s is the local Max Payne. I mean, that's just when we look at this chart, right? It's simply the support level that we had all through last winter, right? Pretty much all through last winter, and so we're just back testing that key support, and technically that does extend down to 88K, but we have the golden pocket here, we have the high volume node here, so there's a lot of confluence that makes me think we don't actually come down as low as 88K. But yeah, that would be Max Payne locally. If we lose that, then I'd say we're in for an extended drop. Potentially, well, my next target would have to be the 50% drop to $65,000. The bull market support resistance flip. And this, in my opinion, if we make it down to 65K, this is going to be really where we see that the 4-year cycle is broken. Because the first half of the 4-year cycle is broken. It happened back in January 2024. The ETF launch, we got to pull back right on schedule. Right? We got to pull back literally right on schedule. All right? This made for a perfect short trade right here. A 20% drop. I made like 10 grand on that wick here. I took that trade live in the Casper Group VIP Discord. All right. That was a beautiful move right there. A 20% drop on Bitcoin. This was on schedule. However, although it was on schedule according to the 4-year cycle, typically we would get a much larger pullback. We would get more of like a 35-40% pullback, right? I was expecting the back test of $30,000, because historically that's what happens in the bear market. Before the halving, we hit the golden pocket, we get a 35% pullback, we back test the base, right? But instead of a 35% pullback, we only got a 20% pullback. So now we're scheduled for an 80%, 70% pullback, right? We're scheduled for a 70% pullback around there, you know, which in this instance is going to be our move down to our 786, you know, just below 40K. We're scheduled for that 70% pullback, but the 4-year cycle could be broken, things more bullish because of all the institutional money coming in. Maybe we just see a 45, 50% pullback, and then we continue with the bull market, right? This is kind of an idea. I'm flirting with the idea, you know. I see her across the room, we make eyes, you know, I smile at her, she smiles back at me, you know. Then we both kind of look away, like pretend like we're not really looking at each other, even though we know we are, you know. Maybe we'll talk more as the night progresses. Things have to line up correctly. But I've been kind of flirting with that idea of getting that 45% drop. How's the Bitcoin trade doing? It's just chilling out here, guys. All right, this long has not seen much follow through. Has not seen much follow through. But you know what else didn't see much follow through was the low we made yesterday, right here. You know, we stayed here forever and ever, and then all of a sudden, big old pop off. So maybe we'll do something a little bit similar. All right, maybe we'll do something a little bit similar. I don't know. Let's check out gold, because someone says gold is going nuts. Have I heard that Trump barred fat chicks from getting visas? Is that true? I haven't heard it, but it sounds like some kind of Trump rumor that would be spread out there on the internet. Whether true or false, it's just hilarious. If it's true, it's hilarious, and if it's not true, it's also hilarious. Let's check out XAU here. Gold. Wow. Gold, man. J-Boy Bullish called this one. J-Boy Bullish called this one, saying it looks like we have our bottom here at the 50% retracement. And it did look bullish. I was hoping for just a fake out of that triangle to bounce from 38.46. But yeah, gold is going nuts right now. Look at this. Look at this. We broke down from the parabola. Gold back going nuts. Let's see. Where's our next resistance here? We're literally right now at the Fibonacci golden pocket. We reclaimed 4,200. We're going to probably continue on with that uptrend, man. Looks like that was our pullback here. Look at market Cipher B. It looks pretty bullish, man, on the daily. Money flow climbing. Momentum climbing. It's looking pretty dang bullish. It's looking pretty juice. Right there. It's looking juiced to the gills, as they say. Okay. All right, give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 second here, all right? I'll be right back, all right? All right, shout out to Big Butts 28. She says, come flirt with me. All right, Big Butts 28, I'll come flirt with you, all right? I'll come flirt. Guys, give me 1 second. I gotta go flirt with Big Butts 28 real quick. All right. Yep. As I was saying, guys. All right, let's check out ICP. Ooh. ICP coming back down towards support here on the day. Bitcoin looks like she does want to go make another low here. ICP, look at this. On the day, coming back down to that zone that we're really interested in, which is honestly, you know, $5. That would be a juicy area to get back in on, to be honest with you. Let's see who else we got in the chat right now. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Like the stream. I think with the quantum chips, people will believe Bitcoin will end and we go to 21K. Interesting. I'm not sure if that will happen. Because I just feel like people won't be paying attention so much. Shout out to Shot by Justin, who says, hello. You need a tape recorder playing your phrases when you step away. I know. Like, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. It'll just say that over and over. Do I have any children? Of course. Of course I have children. Why wouldn't I have any children? Is there any reason why I wouldn't have children? ICP on the 24-minute getting a little bit of a move to the upside. Let's check out Pepe coin. Ha, dumping. Let's check out Pepe coin. Man, oh my goodness. Let's check out Pepe on a different exchange here. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. Let's just, man. Pepe coin was one of the few good purchases I made in December 2023. One of the few good purchases I made back then. Pepe coin, would you look at this? It has come down, it has taken the low, the support resistance flip from the listing on Binance. Let's see if we have any kind of bullish sign on Pepe. You know, if we are going to get alt season, it wouldn't surprise me if these stupid coins keep pumping, you know, objectively speaking here, Pepe is down 80%. It's down 80% right now. With that wick was crazy. We came all the way down to about 93%. I mean, if this thing is going to ever pump again, this honestly isn't a bad place to get a little bit. It is bad compared to December 2023 when we could get in at I mean, the Pepe coin, I didn't sell on my Pepe, but I'm still currently up on my Pepe 350%. Oh my goodness. That is crazy that after the dump, I'm up 350%. I did sell some Pepe. I had to. After a move like that, you know, 2,000%, you got to sell some. But, you know what? I have to say, though, things don't look that bullish on the weekly. Things don't even look that bullish on the 3-day. But this white line, at or below this white line, is, objectively speaking, if you're going to buy Pepe, a good place to buy Pepe. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm going to buy any Pepe. I don't think I'm going to buy any Pepe, man. Man, oh man. Thinking back the past 2 years, there was so much hope. There was so much hope in December 2023. Man, there was so much hope for everything. I thought everything was going to turn out like Pepe coin. When we saw all these resistances break out and retest, man, there was so much hope back in those days. You had a Pepe limit at the CDW you forgot about? Man, open that up, bro. It's probably in mad profit. Shout out to Splashfire Films. Shout out to LionEye101 who says all the OG Bitcoin hodlers are selling. They're actually just transferring their funds to quantum-proof wallets. Interesting, LionEye. That is a very interesting theory, and I like that. I like that a lot. Yo, shout out to Dean from the UK. Zcash. You can't wait to see it live on the Bible channel. All we need is 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm showing your Bible channel. Yeah, guys, the Bible channel. You know, check it out. The Jason Casper Bible channel. It's called Billy Casper Bible channel. Alright? If you're into Bible stuff, go subscribe to the Billy Casper Bible channel. Alright, we get 1,000 subs. We'll go live on the Bible channel. Can you imagine that? Live on the Bible channel? That would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty crazy, to be honest with you. Never thought I'd go live on a Bible channel. But life has its funny ways of doing stuff. I'll post it in the chat. Let's see. You want the live on the Bible channel, not quicker? Quant means short. Can't wait for Quantum Pepe. Some of the OG wells are selling too. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it makes sense to be selling Bitcoin now. I mean, it's, historically speaking, now is a great time to take profits. All right, you've been in Bitcoin since sub 20K. We're above 100K. You know, 100K was a meme for so long. You got to be taking some profits here. Even if you're bullish on Bitcoin. You know, and I am bullish on Bitcoin. I am super bullish on Bitcoin. I don't think it's crazy to see a $500,000 Bitcoin by... What was the year I was looking at? Not 2029. I guess 2033-ish. $2034, I think. Around 2034. Is my name Billy or Jason? I have many names. I'm a man of many, many names. What is my settings on fixed range volume profile? Row size 200, value area 70, and blue and purple, always. It's Crypto Now. It says, hey Jay, what if we don't see a traditional bear market with financial transitions happening globally and the fiat system coming into crypto for 24-hour automation and domination? Yeah, so I think we would still see a pullback, but I'm speculating less of a 70% and more of a 45 to 50% pullback. Just like kind of how when we saw the bear market rally pre-having dump, instead of 45%, it was 20%. That's what I've been speculating about. Am I going to teach my children trading? Yeah, I already am. And they're young. They're 4 and 6 and they're young and they're learning it now. Yeah. I always tell my kids, if you guys want to be lazy, you got to learn how to work hard. And you got to learn some kind of skill that's going to allow you to be lazy. You know, I have a theory here. I believe that the most successful people are the laziest people. Because they're so lazy, they said, I never want to have a job ever. So they go figure out ways not to have a job. And the ironic thing is, in the pursuit of laziness, they end up being busier and harder working than all the other people who aren't lazy. That's exactly what happened to me. All right. In my life, my friends are getting jobs in high school, talking about college, and I'm like, college? I'm about to graduate high school. I don't want to go back to school. I didn't graduate high school, by the way, but I almost did. Ended up not. And then my friends were getting jobs. They said, oh, a job. There has to be a way to make money without having a job. Right? So that led me down the road of entrepreneurship. And now I work way harder than all my friends that have jobs. You know? What's my bullish case for Bitcoin? So my bullish case for Bitcoin right now is that we do hold this zone of the low to mid 90s at least. Like, it's a pretty big zone I'm looking to hold. It could be from where we're at now, like anywhere in this area, my bullish case, and then I would expect that we go to around $133,000. All right, so maybe something like this. We come up for another high around 130. That's our final high, and then we enter into the real pullback, something like that. Honestly, that's my bullish case for Bitcoin right now. Even in my bullish case for Bitcoin, I'm still a little bit bearish because, again, like when you see, for example, the 2-month time frame, right, with a bearish divergence like this. Let's go to the index, the all-time index. All right. Look at the bearish divergence here on the 2-month. The last 2 times that was the top, 2018, 2021, and here we are again in 2025. Right. The last few times that was the top, it led to a bear market, right? So it wouldn't surprise me I mean, so far, based on historical data, this is the top, right? So even if we're going to chop around here like we did back in 2021, where we made a double top, a slightly higher high, I wouldn't expect the uptrend to continue for much longer here, right? I wouldn't expect it to continue for much longer. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Positively. Abso-fruitly, positutely. Tutti fruity. Patootie fruity. Absolutely. But, I have 3 master's degrees working on my doctorate. All I want to do is quit my job and trade, but I'm still not there with my trading. Wow. Well, at least you have a lot of degrees. That's cool. 89K, folks. That's as low as Bitcoin will go, says Chris Tat. So Chris Tat's looking to front run the support resistance flip at 88K. Chris Tat is looking at this level over here. Right around here. $88,749. That's as low as he says we go. That's actually, Chris Tat, a great level. And we were just talking about that level here. But this is a, yeah, this is like a bullish scenario. Even if we bounce from here, I still expect we either make a lower high or we make one more higher high. But this would have to happen quick, all right? This is a very key level. It's the just below the golden pocket. You know, it's just below the value area low. Basically, we'd be coming down to the bottom of the macro value area and getting a bullish deviation below, right? And then getting the reclaim, and that would be our signal. Yeah, that is a key level because it's a support resistance flip. And so if we're looking at this, like, let's clear everything off and look at Chris Tat's idea, which is a beautiful idea, by the way. I mean, I do like it a lot. If we're looking at this as our range, right? And this was the bullish deviation. And then we have the breakout in the higher high. And then we come back to back test, make a higher low, also support resistance flip. And we continue on like that. That's what Chris Tat's looking at. And it's a beautiful idea. It works out really nicely. I do like the levels of support and resistance that we have here, for sure. And there are some confluences here. We'd basically be faking out the golden pocket. So we'd be getting a lot of people bearish saying, oh no, we're losing the golden pocket, right? We're losing the anchored VWAP, we're losing value area, and then we just get the reclaim and boom. Yeah, it's a very possible scenario, something that we should be aware of, like as traders, absolutely. Like if we see the fake out of $90,000 bounce from this support resistance flip at around 87, 88, and then get the reclaim of that key support resistance flip of around 90, the low 90s, and we see bullish divergence, that absolutely could be a signal to go long on a low leverage kind of swing trade. You know what I'm saying? So jobs suck. Yeah, I haven't had a job since 2013. So I'm very thankful. I'm so thankful I haven't had a job since 2013. I've only had a handful of jobs in my life, actually. I worked at a few different restaurants, and I worked at Starbucks. And then I worked for a temp agency, which gave me like random warehouse jobs. That's about it. Nah, there's no 4-year cycle. It's over. It's extended. This is just a pullback to break through major resistance. Chris Tat, I hope you're right, bro. I mean, Chris Tat, if this does bounce, I would be hard pressed to believe that the low would be in here. I would find it really hard to believe that we could make another high and not see the most bearish looking chart in the world, man. You know, like if that does happen, Chris Tat, and we actually do get your scenario here, we're going to be seeing the momentum under 60 on the monthly, which always signals the bear market. And then we wouldn't have time for momentum to come back above 60. And so we'd be printing just another drive of bearish div on the monthly here. Our 2-week time frame, would have a gnarly money flow divergence, extremely gnarly, something that we hadn't seen since that all-time high back here as far as the money flow goes in 2021. So I find it really hard to believe we would have enough momentum to continue an uptrend if we actually do bounce from 89K and then make another all-time high. I feel like it would just be another fake out, you know, just another one of these, the three spike pattern, right? The triple top pattern, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then that's it. But I could be wrong, man. I'm expecting a significant pullback here. I think it makes the most sense for a healthy market that we do get a pullback of like 45-50%. That would be a real cool off, man. That would be a real cool off. Here's why. I mean, back here in, you know, earlier this year, we had a 33% pullback. So if we come down to the $89,000 level, that's only a 28% pullback. That's only a 28. It's not even as much of a cool off as what we saw back here, right? This is a 33%. 33, you know what that means? It's the Illuminati signaling to us that this isn't the real dip. You know, we should have known. 33%, oh, they're messing with us. Expect the pump. So 45%, that's going to put us under 70K. That's going to allow us, really, when we look at this, Christat, to backtest this level, right? What a great breakout and backtest that would be, right? I think that could give us a better cool off. That could allow, depending on how long that takes. I mean, let's say it takes a whole year, right? Let's say we have a slow, grindy, you know, 2026, you know, it's May, June, it's the summer, and then all of a sudden here we are, September, we're down here, right? That would be a very long time, basically a year of ranging and chopping, and that would actually allow our high time frame oscillators to bottom out and give us what we need to start another big powerful uptrend like what we had down here. When the oscillator bottoms out, you know, that's when you can get that momentum to the upside. Right now, I mean, this is just bear, right? Bear. Is Bitcoin making a small cheek here? It probably will if we take the low. I got a PhD, playa hate his degree. Hey, all respect to everyone with a PhD. I could never go to school, honestly. Like, I'm a little bit retarded. I'm a little bit retarded, so I don't think I could ever go back to school. You know, I hated high school. Hated high school so much. What a huge waste of time that was. Everyone talking about shout out to Make Me a Millie. Everyone talking about 2K stimulus entering the market. Last time I checked, most people struggling out here and going to need to put that change into more important places. Yeah, not into high-risk assets. Yeah, I guess that's true, man. Shout out to Make Me a Millie. The pump song makes the price move. Yeah, if I see a reason to sing the pump song, guys, I will sing the pump song. All right, let's see how this plays out here. Let's see how this plays out here. Let's check out market Cipher B again on these low time frames. Oof. Okay, so there is a case to be made still here. I mean, our 24-minute did confirm the bullish divergence here. So technically speaking, guys, there is a reason why we would be looking still to make another low and basically do something like this, right? Right, just form that nice rounded bottom as we continue to get the momentum here on the 12, on the 24, the money flow getting higher here from these lows, right? We've got money flow divs. Let's see what happens here. I'm quite curious. I don't have a stop loss on this trade. I do, but it's low. It's not going to stop me out on a low right here because I'm curious to see what happens on this. All right, I'm curious to see what happens here. Who buys these levels with no real support? I mean, apparently, man, like institutions are buying here. I mean, apparently, professional and wealthy investors still plan to boost crypto holdings even after the sharp slide. All right, they surveyed investors in 43 countries, and 61% of the more than 1,000 high net worth and professional investors said they're looking to increase their exposure to crypto. You know, which is quite interesting. Also, we're seeing a crypto firm being backed by like the big players in the financial sector. So I don't know. Maybe there is big money looking to buy here. Am I gonna buy here? Heck no. Like I said, I'm not buying Bitcoin unless we're under 70. And who knows? That's either going to be the smartest or the stupidest thing. Only hindsight will tell whether or not that's a smart or stupid move on my end, right? But it looks like there is still interest in crypto. It looks like people are starting to view Bitcoin as less of a high-risk asset and more of just something to add to a well-diversified portfolio. I mean, the one thing we can say about this bull market is that the volatility has been much less intense than previous bull markets. You know, I mean, last time we pumped 2,000%. This time, you know, 600%. You know, it's like maybe like what, 30% of what we did last time, right? So the volatility is slowing down. And honestly, the last year of Bitcoin, we've really only seen a 160% move to the upside, and the pullbacks have been about 30% each time. So that's a lot more stable than it's been in the past. I mean, look at this uptrend. It's very different than this one over here, right? Very different. Very, very different. Man, what a strange, you know, uptrend here. What a strange uptrend, right? What a strange uptrend. You know, if this was any other asset on a low time frame, you know what we'd all be looking for, right? I'm just saying. All right, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if this was any other asset right now, we would say let's this is the trade to look for, honestly. You know, we have all this liquidity. Right? I mean, seriously. I ain't wrong. Can you imagine this? Let's just look, guys, it's a sign of an educated mind to entertain an idea without accepting it, all right? You got to learn how to entertain ideas without accepting them. We're breaking down from this trend line. We have all this liquidity below. Looks real ugly. Sweep the liquidity right into the support resistance flip. Get the reclaim and boom. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This whole thing is just a bearish deviation above the range high. We come in, bullish deviation below the range low, and back. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. The carnage in the streets. If my portfolio of Bitcoin lost 90%, oh my goodness, I would be down millions of dollars. Oh man, that would be a tough one. That would be a tough one. Oh my goodness. And then you have to make the decision. Am I going to buy Bitcoin under 15,000 when just a little while ago it was 120,000? You got to make that tough decision, and it's always tough. I'm telling you, buying 15K was tough in 2022. It was tough. I sat there with my wife on the counter telling her, look, we might lose everything, babe. And she said, Jason, as long as I have you, that's all I need. And I said, oh, baby, I feel the same way about you. And we clicked that buy button together on Coinbase.com, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. My goodness. My goodness. Who would have, like, I hope you're tethered up. I mean, at least I, you know, the Bitcoin I've sold, I do have in Tether. I would probably get some Bitcoin if that happened. I would have to. If Bitcoin was under 15K, yeah, man, I would have to do it. It would be a YOLO mentality, right? I've already lost millions of dollars. Might as well put it back into Bitcoin in the hopes of making back way more millions of dollars than just, and if it goes to zero, oh well, right? Man, that's a crazy scenario to think about it. Yeah, that's crazy. It happened to gold. Why not to Bitcoin? Did it happen to gold? Let's see. When did that happen to gold? When did gold? I don't think gold ever did that. Are you talking about back here? In 2021? Like, I don't know. When did this ever happen to gold, man? When did gold ever do that? I mean, gold is... When has gold ever gotten a 90% drop? Let's see. 40%. Was it back here? No, not quite. When has gold ever gotten a 90% drop? I don't know. Yeah, gold though is gold. Is Bitcoin digital gold? Let me know. Let me know what you think in the chat. Is Bitcoin digital gold? Guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Can we ever get 156,000 subscribers? If we can, I'll do something special. Also, guys, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, check out KCEX, lowest fees in the world. They're giving away $21,000 in prizes, deposit bonuses. Also, check out BLOFIN. BLOFIN's giving you the lowest fees if you sign up using my link. Lower fees than anyone else. BLOFIN fees are quite high. They're giving you like a 75% fee discount if you use my link. Also, if you want to join the Casper crew where we give the trade setups in advance and in real time, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com where, you know, we give the trades. All right, we give the trades in real time. I let people know what I'm doing, the good, the bad, the ugly. All right, this week it's been pretty good. All right, we longed the reclaim of 100K. We longed a few days ago. Our take profit was hit. We then flipped into a short, shorted the exact top, took a scalp yesterday morning, locked in a quick take profit, had a few scalp levels along the way down. I mean, honestly, that one scalp level hit like a crazy lady. Boom. And then, of course, the long that I'm currently in right now, that I let everyone know I took at 11:15 a.m. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes ago. That's the long trade I'm currently in right now. And it's not just me in here. We also have other instructors doing the same dang thing. All right. Shout out to Boyan. All right. Hopium. Can't go wrong with a little bit of hopium, honestly. A little bit of hopium never killed anybody. A lot of hopium has killed some people. A little bit is healthy. A little bit. The dose makes the poison, right? The dose makes the poison. Gold pumping like crazy. Bitcoin dumping like crazy. Let's see what happens here with Bitcoin here. As I suspected, we're forming a range. I suspected we're forming a range here. I thought we were going to take out this high and then take the low. I would love to take out these highs now and then go for the lows and then do something like that. It's kind of what I would like to do. Walter Bloomberg, just out. October CPI and job data will probably never come out. LOL. LOL. What do I think about AI bubbles? What happened then on Bitcoin? We will see red 2026. Oh, you mean the AI bubbles, like how the AI things are pumping? Yeah, I mean, look, it could lead to any. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it. We have a bull div on the 1 hour Bitcoin. Yeah, and we have 24-minute divs too. Shout out to Eddie 2018 AK. I mean SK. Your thoughts on Linea layer 2? I've never really heard of it, all right? So I'm just gonna give you what I think here based on the chart. It doesn't look so great. We had a scam wick on Binance. Let's see it on a different exchange. That scam wick is there on every exchange. Ah, man, I don't know. I don't like this chart. Doesn't look like something I'd be interested in. The only good thing I can say about it is we do have some bullish div at the low. We also have some bearish div at the high. I mean, I don't know what to think about this. I don't know what to think about this. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is fundamentally. But the chart doesn't look the best. Let me Let me do a little search on it and see like if I can find any other information. I can't really find anything notable. Yeah, so Linea, layer 2. Tether dominance is trying to find support above all-time high anchor VWAP. Whoa. What's my thoughts on the Shemitah cycle correlating to Bitcoin markets? I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody even knows what the real Shemitah year is. I'll be honest with you. But I believe it exists. Obviously. I'm not sure. Alright, I used to be really into looking into that stuff. Now I'm just not sure. It's a layer 2 chain, not popular nowadays. Shout out to Pro the Doge. Shilling the Casper crew. I was gonna buy mass amounts of BeamX when it reached 1 cent. What is BeamX right now? I haven't looked at it. Let's go find out. BeamX. You're right, I did say that. Let's see. What is BeamX right now? It's less than a cent. Wow! Whoa! Oh my goodness, that would have dumped. How did that work out for me? Well, I guess I didn't do it, honestly. But, wow, would you look at that? 1 cent is now resistance. I guess that would have worked out really poorly for me. I mean, a lot of altcoins that I did buy worked out really poorly for me. That's how it worked. So, yep, as a TA guy, sometimes your TA is going to be wrong. You know, and I was real bullish in December of 2023. You know, I was real bullish. And there was no reason not to be, honestly, based on the chart. Worked out pretty bad. So I guess I was wrong. I was totally wrong. That's how it worked out. I was super wrong. My goodness, what a crazy dump. Hi Jason, can you look at Squid Grow? SQ Grow. Yeah, let's check it out. Well, this is the weekly time frame. I mean, this chart looks like absolute trash, let's be honest. It's just Wick City, low liquidity. Looks like the kind of thing you'd have a hard time getting out of. I don't know what to say about it, honestly. Based on the chart, there's not really any structure that I can say looks good. I don't see bullish divergences. We're pretty much in this like large accumulation. If this is ever going to pump, you know, this is the zone to accumulate. If you're bullish on it, I mean, we're literally at support, right? So if you want to get some, we're at the lows of the low here right now, right? So if this has a future, getting some now, if we reach that scam wick of 1,300%, which honestly, let's be honest, when you have a wick like this, that probably means there's no way you're actually going to be able to sell this coin. There won't be liquidity. You won't be able to get your orders filled if you're trading this on MEXC. There's no way. It looks like crap, honestly. But if for some reason it's some awesome hidden gem that I don't know about, then, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Looks like we're bear flagging for Bitcoin. Let's check it. Yeah, could be. I mean, let's check out Market Cipher B here. You know, there's still a real chance here that we... Oof, the 6 minute looks like crap, honestly. The 6 minute does look like crap. But nonetheless, let's see what happens here. We have this stupid triangle forming. You know how these stupid triangles love to fake us out and then pump? So let's see if we don't get a big old move to the downside, reclaim, and then get a little bit of a pump to the upside. Right, let's just see. This is a very key support. This zone is a very key support. It's a very key support. So we're taking out 98.2 in the next few hours. We could. We honestly, we very well may. Right. All right, man. Let's see if we do take the low. Others / Bitcoin forming a falling wedge. We could see all season come. We could. Everything has to be perfect for that to work out. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I have to head out, man. I love you all, though. God bless you all in Jesus' name. I have to head out. But, Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Peace.